Imagine you and your friends are stuck out on a small sheet of metal in the middle of the ocean with a great white hunting you and minimal supplies. That's 2025's movie Beast of War. And while this isn't the greatest shark movie ever, there is some positives. Let's start there. I think the opening of this movie is fairly good. All of these soldiers kind of training together, getting ready to go off to war. You see the camaraderie, you see their leadership, you see their training. And all of this I did really enjoy. It reminded me a lot of my field exercises when I was in the Marine Corps myself, of how you spend your days when there is some downtime out there. And then they all get on a boat and get ready to go to war. And in the middle of the ocean, they get attacked by Japanese fighters, and their boat's been blown up and half of their crew is gone, more than half. And they are stuck on this little sheet of metal in the middle of the ocean, collecting as many supplies as they can, till they quickly find out that there is a great white shark hunting them. One big positive I do have for this movie is they used a mechanical shark, similar to Jaws. And while they were doing this, there is only minimal CGI in the movie, which is a positive. Another positive they got right: great white shark's eyes have like this, it's not an eyelid, but it's almost like an eyelid that comes up over to protect their eye when they are attacking. But a lot of the attacks do feel very eerily similar to Jaws, and just not an original idea there. It does make sense how the shark is hunting them. Sharks are attracted to sound, they are attracted to blood, and with the big commotion of a boat being exploded, soldiers splashing around in the water, everything else like the explosion remnants hitting the water, all of that would attract sharks. And then you have guys bleeding out on this little tiny raft that is just floating along, just leaving a trail of blood. So it would make sense that a shark would stick around. My issues with this movie really rely on just kind of how dumb these soldiers are. I get you're not trained for this exact situation, but you are trained to not be a moron. And that's how half this crew acts. It would be fine if it was only the dude who took a serious head injury, because he's obviously not in his right mind, not thinking the right way. And that makes sense. But a lot of this crew is just making eerily dumb decisions. They're also trained for combat. And, you know, while I'm a shark advocate, I get this is a movie. When their buddy is like flying off when he's trying to get to the boat, and they see the shark coming after him, and they're like hesitating to shoot till he yells at them to shoot, that's just dumb. You would see the threat and you would immediately start shooting, because you know that this threat is hanging around you the entire time. It's not like you're caught off guard now by this moment. Also, the antagonist of this movie is the most predictable sacrifice in movie history, and also the best scene in this movie is actually when they interact with the Japanese soldier. With all that being said, it's the second best shark movie of 2025. Not that there's a lot of competition, but I gave this a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Let me know what you thought of it.